Awesome. It's 7 o'clock and we're super excited for our second Monarch Mondays of the month. And we are having a Monarch Nation. So talking about our MU athletics program here. We have our director of athletics here. We have some other really important people that you're going to share their story and we'll kind of go from there. But first and foremost, I'm Taylor Murphy. I'm the assistant director of admissions here at Methodist University. And we're really excited that you decided to share your evening with us and learn more about what we can offer you as a student athlete here at Methodist. I'm going to go ahead and have Dave Eavenson start us off. He is our vice president and director of athletics, but he's no stranger to Methodist. He's been with us. He actually just mentioned 21 years as a staff member, but he's also an alumni from Methodist. So I'm going to go ahead and have him take over first, and then we'll go on to Mr. Quincy Malloy.
Thank you, Taylor. I appreciate it. I'm going to swap screens here and share my screen. Appreciate the opportunity to be with everybody tonight. Thank you all so much for taking some time out of your evening. The most important people you're talked to tonight, they're the people that will follow me. That's our student athletes. One of our alums and currently the director of our testing, tutoring, and our CHAMPS program, Quincy Malloy. They are here to share their story about Methodist. And really everybody from Methodist on this call tonight is either a current student getting ready to graduate to go live their dream, or Taylor, myself, and Quincy have already graduated and we are living our dreams. So we appreciate you all having the opportunity to share a little bit about MU athletics and what it's like to be a Monarch. Every one of you is probably in a different part of the process. Some of you are very familiar with Methodist. Some of you may not be familiar at all. Some of you may have already applied. Some of you may be accepted. Some of you are just starting this process. So as we go through the evening, this is a great opportunity to learn and take advantage of some of the stories that you'll hear this evening in reference to what Methodist is. I will tell you that Methodist has been my home for a long time. I will never forget the day that I came to visit Methodist. It was in December. It was on the 27th. It was 1991. I came here with my dad on a visit, and I knew right away when I got here that this is where I belong. And as you young folks are going through your college selection process, it sounds very simple that when I tell you you'll know where you belong, you will. And I made this decision to come to Methodist in 1991, and it has served me so incredibly well. The thing I will tell people all the time about our program and about our university is it's all about people. There's an amazing group of people at this university. They will care about you as a person, not just the sport that you play, not just the jersey number that you wear, not just the position you are on the team. They'll care about you as a person. And for me, that was important when I came here, and it's important to me today, as the director of athletics in the athletic department. So for those of you that don't know anything about Methodist, we are in the great state of North Carolina, the metropolis of Fayetteville. It is a beautiful city, growing like crazy. I tell people all the time, when I first got here, there was no stoplight in front of Methodist University. Now you can go find just about any restaurant you want if you take a right or take a left and you drive about 2 blocks. When I went to school here, we had a Dairy Queen, and we had a Taco Bell, and we had the big deal of a Pizza Hut, and that's all we had. So it's a tremendous city. It's a large city, but we're kind of a city within itself on the northern part of Fayetteville. We have 20 NCAA Division III programs, highly successful. We have a rich tradition of excellence in our athletic programs at Methodist. We play in one of the largest conferences in NCAA Division III. We cover 6 different states with 18 institutions. So you'll get a chance to experience some areas of the country that you may have never seen before. We go to Alabama, we go to Georgia, we go to Tennessee, we go to Kentucky, we go to Virginia, and then of course our great home state of North Carolina. You'll see on the screen, I told you we have a rich tradition of success. You can see the national championships, the number of national championships and individual national championships that our teams have won. you'll see the number of all conference players and rookies of the year and coaches of the year. But one of the most important things I'll stress to you, and it's part of our DNA, is you're coming here to be a student, to get your degree, to go live your. The icing on top is you get a chance to play on national caliber teams with amazing coaches who will help you be highly successful in the sport that you love to play. So understand when we go into this from an athletic department perspective, it's not just about come and play, it's about the whole package. And that's what we want, and that's what we believe in. I think anytime you talk about an organization, a program, a department, a family, it's what you believe in. And here's what we believe in here. This is our core values. We want you to excel academically, athletically, outside of your academics and athletics. I think that's the one advantage of a Division III program is you get to have a well-rounded plate. You get to be involved in clubs and organizations. You get to be, if you want to be the student body president, you can be the student body president. We've had student athletes do that multiple times. But we want you to be involved so you can have a well-rounded experience, so you can set yourself off from others whenever you go get a job and start your real career in the world. Anything you can put in your tool belt to help you be successful when you graduate is an advantage. And that's the advantage of a school like Methodist, where you can take advantage of those things, not a full-time job just to be a student athlete. We believe in work ethic. We believe in service. Our Student Athlete Advisory Committee and the representatives that you have here tonight are all members of our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, hold leadership's position in our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and we want to give back to others. We want to serve. We believe in community service. We believe in giving back to those who have helped us, and we believe in serving those who are underprivileged and need help. We believe in sportsmanship. We say it all the time. We want to win, but we want to do it right. Put the team first and trust in the process. You'll hear a lot of our coaches talk about the word process. Life is a process. College is a process, but athletics is a tremendous process. You have to work it every day. And I think, going through the process, everyone wants to win and be successful, but it's what you do today is going to help you be successful in the rest of your life. It's going to help you be successful when you play your next contest. You can't miss today because you don't get today back. And that's why we love to talk to our student athletes about process. Commitment to our teammates. And the last thing says have fun. And sometimes we may forget about this, but everyone loves to play. I'm looking at the 3 student athletes on the screen right now of our current student athletes, and they love to play their sport. They get a smile on their face when I go watch them play and can compete. It's one of the biggest joys of my job is to watch them compete and go through the adversity, but knowing that they're out there, that they're having a blast. And that's the beauty of sport. I think you'll find when you start to do some research on Methodist, you'll see our coaching staff. We have an amazing group of coaches. To me, the one thing I miss about no longer coaching, I love what I'm doing, but the one thing I miss is the relationships. Building relationships with your team. There's nothing better, if it's done correctly, than the relationship that you'll have with your college coach. You're in the fire together, you're grinding together, you're going through adversity together, you're building a team together. And our coaches will push you, they will drive you, they will ask you to do things you don't want to do because it's good for you, kind of like, your parents or guardians or whoever raised you ask you to do. But this is what they will also do. They will care about you and they will love you. And that's, again, goes back to our DNA is we're here for our students. All of our coaches, our staff members, somewhere in their lives, somebody made a difference in their life. And that's why we all do what we do, to give back and make a difference in young people's lives. And we want it all for you. We want everything. We want you to be successful in everything that you do. And that's what Methodist is all about. As far as our programs, you can go on our website, and I encourage you to go explore our website. It's important. You'll see pictures, and everybody's website has great pictures and so forth. If you have not visited Methodist, when you get to that point in the process, there is no substitute. getting on campus to see the university and interact with people. Even the COVID world that we're in right now, things are a little more difficult and a little bit tougher to navigate those things. But I think the opportunity to come visit and see and interact with people, I think is a great way for you to help make your college decision. But you'll see all of our men's and women's sports that we have. We have beautiful facilities, continuing to expand and grow. I think, one thing I'll leave you with, because you've heard enough from me, you need to hear from the student athletes in Quincy. But if this is something that, hey, listen, I'm interested in Methodist, I want to start this process. Number one, if you're a senior, please make sure you get your admissions application done. Taking the SAT, ACT, that's a little more difficult these days. We are test optional. I will not get into that. That's Taylor's wheelhouse right there. But we are test optional. The financial aid process, campus visits, contacting the coaching staff at Methodist so you can start to interact. I think the one thing in the recruiting process for me, going back to my days of coaching, is number one, when a coach reaches out to you, the coach is interested. But sometimes I had student athletes reach out to me that I didn't know anything about and said, Coach, I'm looking at Methodist and here's my information, here's my video, here's my stats, check it out, let me know what you think. And you never know how the connection is going to come together. But I think the most important thing in the process is constant communication with the coaching staff. But the number one thing you can do is get your admissions application done if you're a senior so you can start the process of coming to Methodist. So you can see some pictures and you can navigate as you go through our website. Soccer, we're just finishing up the project. I know Jillian and Colin are really excited. That project has been ongoing for quite some time, but we have a new soccer stadium and it's beautiful. We're so looking forward to getting some contests in there in the spring so we can get that off the ground. We've got new lights in the football lacrosse track and field stadium. So if we can do anything to help you in this process, please let us know. Our coaching staff, our administrative staff are all here to help you. But I appreciate the opportunity to visit with you this evening. Like I said, the folks that you're going to hear from next, they're living this on a day-to-day basis. This is their life right now, going to school at Methodist and navigating this. The gentleman that you're going to hear after me, he lived this. He lived the process of going to Methodist on a day-to-day basis and being a student athlete. And now we're so fortunate that he's come back to join us in a staff position to really impact our student athletes. So Taylor, I'll turn it back over to you so we can move on to.
Great. I do want to give you a little more credit though, Coach E, because even though you were not a coach in my college experience, and I graduated from here 5 years ago, you were still a huge part of my experience, and I wasn't even a student athlete. So I think one of the beautiful things about Methodist in general, but I think you kind of have even more as a student athlete looking at Methodist, is that there are so many people and so many resources that you can pull from. And we have an entire staff and community that wants to see you be successful and wants to be whatever you need us to be. And so it's pretty beautiful that, I'm still able to go to Dave Eavenson about, help and support that I need from him. And it was really cool because we had a few minutes to talk beforehand, and the relationship you're even able to build with some of the student athletes on here today is really cool. So I'm excited to have Quincy come on next. To give you a little bit of background on this photo, because it was the one I found to put on here, this is from Quincy Molloy's Hall of Fame ceremony. So I think that's pretty cool to be able to include in this session. He is now the Director of Testing and Tutoring, also our Disability and Accessibility Services, but he is known around here as one of the best football players we've ever had. So I do want to give him the floor so he can talk about the resources that we have for our student athletes and why we put student first when we say that.
Wow, Taylor, thank you for making me look so good. I don't know if I'm the best. There's a couple guys who are better than me. Good evening, everyone. First of all, it is 7:15, and Coach Eavenson, he actually coached me during my years many moons ago here at Methodist. And so I always like to make this statement. It's 7 o'clock at night. You guys can be doing anything that you would like to do. Any of your hobbies, watching television, spending time with your family. And we really appreciate you guys being on the call with us today. Of course, I'm fine. I work at Methodist 12 to 14 hours a day because I love my job. So this is not work. I'm in the office and everybody else is in the office, but this is not work for me. But I want to say I appreciate you guys for at least being on the call and really wanting to get better and learn about our institution. So yes, I am Quincy Emmanuel Malloy Sr. I am the Director of Testing and Tutoring and Accessibility Services, and I also oversee our CHAMPS program, which is our academic support for athletics. I have been here 11 years, going on my 12th year at Methodist. I was a student, I'm an alumni, so I was here from 1998 to 2002, finished my career up there. Went into the mental health field a little bit. At the same time, I played a little bit of arena football, and then I came back to Methodist in 2009, and I have been here ever since, and I don't think I'm going anywhere. I'm having so much fun here. Just a little bit about myself. I don't want to dive too much, but I was a gentleman. The key word, and I know Coach Eavenson said it, was opportunity. I am a prime example of what opportunity can provide for you. I was a young man who came from a very small town in South Carolina, and when I got to the big city of Fayetteville, it was he says it was only a Taco Bell and Walmart. Well, I didn't have that in my town. So this was the big city, and what the university and it was Methodist College at the time, but it provided a world of opportunities for me. I tell you, without the university, without the staff, without the professors that we have and that we had, I wouldn't be the type of individual that I am today. And I'm really not sugarcoating. When I first came on campus, I can tell my exact date. It was around July 17th, I think, about 2:30 p.m. We were meeting with the coach and my parents. And initially, my parents were sold, and I was shortly there sold after that, all right, because they told me that I was coming to Methodist. When I got here, this is what I'll tell you. We are not only a community, but we are a family. I will say that. And I'll stand by that. I'll preach that to any other school that would like to challenge us. If you're looking for that environment to where you're going to have the opportunity to not only play your sport, to be a strong student, to be a part of clubs and organizations, this is one of the best places that you can be at. Of course, I'm putting a little bit on top because I love Methodist, but I'm really being honest. What we provide here, and about 9 years ago, and Coach Eavenson, you can correct me, we implemented a program. It was initially called MVP, but now it is now CHAMPS. And the idea of it was to support our student athletes academically. All right. During my term here, our coaches were heavily involved on our academics, and that was kind of the gist of it. And so me being within academic affairs, I wanted to kind of implement more support. I felt like the students deserved it. And so pretty much I took a big time program that may be at a Division I, and we kind of focused it a little bit to what works for a Division III model. And that's how we came up with CHAMPS. And that is your study hall / academic support / advising / development and leadership that you will have continuously throughout your career here. It is very base specific for incoming freshmen. And so I don't have to get into all the guidelines, but what I can tell you, we're here to support you. With that and with the position that I am in, I have a great relationship with all coaches throughout. I am on the phone with coaches every single day throughout the week, good and bad, all right, making sure that students are where they need to be at and getting the necessary help. And then the other side of it, I'm kind of like that liaison. And so I work very heavily with the professors, with our administration, with academic affairs, and just ensuring that we ensure that the students get exactly what they need on the academic side. And whether that's testing, whether that's tutoring, whether that is accommodations, whether that is just simply as advising, all right? Or it just could be a simple conversation on just how life is going and how things are back home. And so these are some of the things that you will get from my area here. These are things that you will see that it's a continuous collaboration with athletics and academic affairs. And we're really moving really strong. I told Coach E one time that, man, I wish I could play now. I mean, the facilities, the help, the assistance, just the way that the campus is just, the community is just amazing. And so I don't want to take all day, but man, I mean, this is what we bring to the table. I don't have to sell you because it speaks for itself. I promise you. If you come and take a visit, you have a conversation with our professors, advisors, faculty and staff, you'll get that fuzzy feeling just like I got it about 22 years ago. And so Again, I am so happy to be a part of the Monarch Nation. MU is definitely what we call home. That is the slogan that we have. And the key thing is opportunity. I mean, this has presented me, myself personally, I can say on a personal status, I just finished my doctoral degree. And without this university, I probably would have never went back to school to get my master's and of course my doctorate. And so for me personally, and I'm no different than anybody else that's on this call. And if I can do it, you guys definitely can do it. And so please come and take that visit. I look forward to seeing you guys. It's a great opportunity, and we'll see you in the future. All right, Taylor.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing your story and the opportunities that our students can take advantage of to be successful here as student athletes. And speaking of student athletes, we're going to have 3 on the call to talk to you about their experience and what they've been going through. 3 that have taken advantage of a lot of opportunities beyond just athletics and have really grown with their time here. So I'm going to go ahead and let them get started. I'm going to have Jillian kick us off, and then Will and Colin introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about your experiences, and then we'll kind of open it up to if any of our participants have any questions. So, all right, Jillian, off to you.
Hi, I'm Jillian. I'm originally from Newport News, Virginia. I am graduating in May with 2 degrees in business administration and marketing with a concentration in sports management and a minor in accounting. A lot. I'm the whole business school, essentially. So I play women's soccer here, and I've been here all 4 years. I came here because my club coach played here. He had the same coach that I have now for my team. And yeah, that's kind of a little bit about me.
Hey, I'm Will Walker. I'm a baseball player, senior. Originally from Roxborough, North Carolina, which is around the Durham Triangle area in North Carolina. I've been here all 4 years, majoring in sport management and business administration. Julian and I have a lot of classes together. It's kind of the career here at Methodist kind of started out just making friends. I remember actually Jillian and I have actually been good friends since freshman year. I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd day of school where we kind of just sat, like we were in the cafeteria and we were just sitting there at the same table when we started talking, and we've been friends ever since. And now she's the president of the student athlete advisory committee, and I'm the vice president. So we kind of work hand in hand, and just being able to get involved here on Methodist has just been a great experience for me. Just school, and then also the athletic side. Love it here.
Hey guys, my name's Colin Hennett. I'm from Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. If you're from North Carolina, it's about an hour north of Wilmington, right beside North Topsail Beach. I am a biology major here with a concentration in healthcare. Hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be attending PA school here as well whenever I graduate. And that's kind of just a little plug here at Methodist. I know when I was getting recruited, there's not many small schools that have a lot of different options for graduate schools. Methodist is pretty unique in that area. And that's one thing that stood out to me. Obviously, I'm on the men's soccer team here. Very excited about that new stadium being built. I actually toured Methodist 3 times. I was offered my sophomore year of high school and did not commit until almost when I graduated my senior year. So I took a very long time. I toured pretty much everywhere in North Carolina, and this is the first place I toured, and I came right back here. So it's a pleasure to talk to all of you tonight, and I hope to see you on campus one day.
All right, I do want to ask you all a couple of questions just because I know you did some introductions, but sometimes it can be hard to think about what kind of information, current prospective students are looking for. Can you all describe the challenges of transitioning from a high school senior to a collegiate athlete and what that's been like for you as you've grown in your college experience? Go ahead, Jillian. Putting you on the spot.
The transition, I mean, athletically, like as far as soccer goes, it's definitely speed of play, definitely like getting in the weight room and just trying to like not catch up, but try to be a better athlete. It's definitely a change of pace because you're practicing every single day as opposed to just 3 or 4 times a week, just for however long. Your practices are also just longer. I mean, academically, it's just budgeting your time. You have a lot of a lot more free time. You have a lot more time to waste. So don't waste it. Make sure you budget your time correctly. You are going to have practice. That's what's really great during season. You have to budget your time very effectively because you're traveling and doing all that fun stuff with your team, but you want to make sure that you're able to continue to do that and keep up your academic work.
Kind of going along the lines, definitely athletically, it's definitely a speed change for sure. Making sure you're staying in shape, working hard off the field as well, not just on the field with coaches and your teammates. And then academically, there's one thing that I can remember. I think it was Dr. Malloy now said when I was coming in. He said when you come into Methodist University and you have an 8 a.m. class or your first class of the day, and you leave your residence hall, apartment, wherever it is, there's something that you could do on this campus until 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night. And then there's something somewhere you can be, activity, club, meeting, whatever it may be, being at the library. You'll have that time to be able to study, get to know people, and then go back to your room and then also study and get work done. I think the transition was kind of smooth for me, being able, kind of like with Jillian, kind of having the freedom of the schedule where you have a little bit of time in between classes and go eat lunch, and then have the resources that we have here at Methodist University to be able to get our classwork done as well.
For me, I'd say the biggest adjustment from high school to college, both academically and athletically, I mean, you just have to prove yourself all over again. There's a lot of guys on our team who were the best player on their high school team, the best player on their club team. Well, you might be recruited to come here, but then you have to earn that starting spot. It's not going to get handed to you by any means. I kind of had a unique opportunity. My freshman class on the soccer team was pretty big. We had about 16 guys and actually started 9 freshmen pretty much all season long. So if you're getting recruited to come here, thinking about coming here, don't think that you're going to have to wait till junior, senior year to play. If you get here and prove yourself, you'll get what you deserve.
Awesome. That's great. To date, what is your most memorable experience at Methodist?
I pulled it out to show everyone. I got this baby right here. My team won the conference championship my freshman year. I like to tell people it's because of Coach E, and he came and talked to us. We started off that season 1-7. Then Coach E came out and talked to us and said, "Hey, might want to pick it up a little bit." And then we won the conference tournament, got these rings, got to participate in the NCAA tournament and go all the way out to Abilene, Texas. We left campus at 3 a.m, got to Raleigh Airport and flew out, made our flight barely. But that was probably my favorite experience, just traveling with my team and getting to experience all those new things, being able to play and just like have sisters for the rest of my life. We will always share that moment together.
Mine would probably have to be this past year, junior year, right before COVID hit in the spring. The baseball team was actually had the chance to go down to Texas, and we were able to fly down there and play our opening weekend down there. And it was kind of felt like we were a Division I team a little bit. Like we were walking by in our polos, had Methodist, we were all looking just about the same, and just you could see these people just kind of looking at you in the airport. Like they like kind of look at you as you walk by, and you kind of act like you're a little big shot, maybe a little bit. But that's probably my favorite memory here at Methodist as a student athlete for sure.
So last year, actually right before everything with COVID kind of happened, I had the amazing experience to go to Spain with our soccer team. Every 4 years, the whole team gets to go on a trip. They've been to Spain, England, Brazil, and he's open to suggestions. So we'll be going somewhere else hopefully soon. But that was just an amazing opportunity. Have all the guys just play teams over there, got to play against teams in Spain, stay together for a week, get to experience their culture, the food, go on tours. It was a once in a lifetime trip, and definitely thankful I could go on it.
I want to go to Spain. Can I go next time? Last question I want to ask you all, and I think this is just a great way to wrap it up since we are talking to prospective students. If you could give advice to any of these students, what would that one piece of advice be?
Easy. I do this for tours too. It's my favorite thing. It's one of my mentors growing up. He coached me from 12 to when I graduated. He is the assistant men's soccer coach at William & Mary. He told me, don't pick a school because you can play there. Pick a school because when you walk onto the campus, you know you want to be there. Because whatever happens, if you can't play anymore or COVID happens and we couldn't play this fall, like if that happens, you're going to be happy where you are. Pick where you feel at home and where you feel that you could just be a student and be a person and just be happy.
Yeah, I totally agree. I remember my high school football coach told me, he said, pick a school where if you happen to get, God forbid, a career-ending injury, and during at that career at the college, that you'll still be happy to be there and go there because your parents put money into it and they're paying for you to go there. And then also another piece of advice is to get involved right from the get-go. I know SAC, or Student Advisory Committee, Athlete Advisory Committee, was a big thing for me. Jillian and I were both on the e-board our sophomore year. So just being able to get involved right away is something that is a really good thing to do here.
I was like, I'm gonna cut back in. And with the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, my sophomore year, I went to Orlando, Florida twice for conferences. I went to the NCAA convention in January, and then I went to a leadership summit in April. So those opportunities also exist, and it was really, really fun.
Yeah, my last piece of advice would be just don't sell yourself short in the classroom or on the field. As you've heard all night, there's a lot of support here. We really are just one big family. And if you come on a tour, you'll definitely be able to see that. But yeah, hope to see you guys on campus next fall.
Thank you all so much. And aren't they so impressive? But I think the best thing that we can do, like the silver lining, I think, to COVID is having these opportunities outside of a regular college visit for you to maybe get information that maybe we wouldn't be able to include in a visit. Unfortunately, I can't have Coach E and Quincy and everyone on every tour as much as I would love to. And we are going to be having one more of these this month. We're going to be having it on health sciences. So if any of you, I know a lot of the times, a lot of our student athletes gravitate towards a lot of degrees that still relate to athletics, whether that be sports management, like some of our students in here, or kinesiology, physical therapy. So this might be something that you are interested in. So definitely would love for you to come out and view that. But also, I love that there's been a lot of plugs for campus visits. And of course, that is definitely our priority because we thrive on personal connections. We love the opportunity to meet with you one-on-one, cater the conversation to your actual interests, and have you go on a campus tour with a current student, maybe Jillian, maybe Colin, but someone that can give you the real experience on our campus and check it out. We will still be having visits up through, going into the holidays, so there's still plenty of time to get here this fall. If not, we hope that you'll join us in January and check out our beautiful campus, because that's the best way to really know if it feels right to you. I did want to put my contact information here. You may be working with other admissions counselors, but please consider me an extension of the MU Athletics family and your family in terms of what questions that you may have about our process going forward. So take a screenshot of that if you need to and reach out. But again, just want to echo the fact that we're just so grateful that you spent your evening with us and are here to learn more about how we can support you in your college experience, not only as a student, but as an athlete. So thank you again, everyone. I really appreciate you all joining me. This is a conversation that I think is always really important and helpful. So have a good evening. Thank you again.